What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the pod, episode number 14. Hopefully, the Wi Fi is better today. I've tested it out for half an hour and it's been working great. So, yeah, we are back. It's a Friday. My favorite day of the week. Coach Walk, what is up, brother? Appreciate you tuning in. Motor City Street Scene, my man. Um, Facts. That's why Friday's the day. That's why Friday's the day. Shout out Malik. Shout out Shift God. Shout out Anakin. The ghost of Lucas Wi-Fi. He's not here, and I credit Terrell not being here for that. Because if he was here, that picture would be it would fuck up the Wi-Fi like it did last night. So yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, means a lot. We got a fun show today. We got a very fun show today. Overrated or underrated NFL quarterback edition. We also got Thunder Nuggets. That'll be a fun game. But fellas, let's do it. We got 5 of them in here. Let's go. Facts, dude. The fact that Malik's rage bait was on full display today. That was impressive. That was impressive. That rage bait was impressive. The Bryce Perkins one was crazy. How did bro fall into that? Oh god, bro. God, it's fucking warm in here. But any plans for the weekend? Any plans for the weekend? What are we up to? What are we up to this weekend? What is the plan? We doing anything? We're just hanging out, watching ball. You're not that crazy. You're not that nuts. I know. He can go from 0 to 100 ASAP. He's really odd. He's very odd. You can't say anything negative about Goff around a tour. Just training, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know. You tried attacking your integrity over a Bryce Perkins joke. Shocking. Hey, get through them projects, dog. You got what? 3. How long left until school ends? Get through them. I'm cooking on Sunday, unfortunately. Well, cook up some fire. Literally said your parents must be. Dude, you should see some of the shit he says to me. You should see. Buddy, that's mild. That's mild. You got 2 weeks? Fuck yeah, get through those 2 weeks. I'll be proud of you. But let's talk about these quarterbacks. I've got around 30 plus of these guys. There are 3 categories: overrated, underrated, or accurately rated. We got the quarterbacks of every team and a couple rookies. This will definitely not cause any arguments at all. I will say what I think, and then I will ask you guys, and then I will decide on a ranking for these guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you like the stream. As always. Fortunately, I know not to get too press people online. Yeah. I learned that as well over the past year. And you gotta identify which people to not get too offended by. Because you can have your opinion, I have no problem with that. But once you start when you start attacking people personally and insulting them over a debate, that's when I'm just like, all right, dude, that's just unnecessary. There's no need to do that. It's football. I literally went to the Woodward chat once, and I made a joke about Goff being a great hockey player, and then I a few minutes later I said, "Yeah, he might shit himself under the pressure though," as a joke, and then I get attacked. I was just like, dude, there's no hope. If you couldn't see that was a joke, then I can't help you. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah. There's certain people you just don't get riled up by. Yeah, facts. What are you cooking? That's a fact. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, they're not. I didn't get insulted by the people on air. It was by a tour in the chat. Um, facts, facts, man. It's even worse for me as an opposing fan because I get attacked a lot more. Um, but anyways, let's get into this list right here. We got all of these quarterbacks, and we're going to go over whether we think they are overrated, accurately rated, or underrated. We got the tier list. Works like a charm every time. It appears the Wi-Fi is working, so that is a ton of fun. We got a bit of a lighter audience today. No worries. Um, People are trying to enjoy their Friday nights. I don't blame them. Let's get into this. Let's get into these quarterbacks. Bryce Young. Um, Bryce Young's a tough one because I was not high on him going into the draft. I feel like definitely he's been a little underrated. But am I the only one that thinks towards the end of last year he was getting just a tiny bit over? Like I heard people saying that he was better than CJ Stroud, and I think that's just because he set the bar so low, so that when he finally started playing well, it was like holy shit. But yeah, you could argue to put him anywhere. I might put him. Fuck, I'll go underrated because I think some people kind of act like he's a bum. Still, I agree with everything you said there. I think he's a tad underrated. We'll go with that. I think that hey, my man. What's up, Alex? What's up, Alex? It's good to have you here. But Bryce Young just looked a lot more comfortable towards the end of the year. I think that he's trending in the right direction. I still think he has a ceiling, but I'll go a tad underrated. I've been thinking he's overrated, but I think now he's a tad underrated. Like people mention him in the bottom 5, and I think he's a little above that. Caleb Williams. This one really, it's the same as most of these, but it really depends who you ask with Caleb Williams. Because some people overrate the hell out of him, but some people underrate him as well. I still think he's a. I see more people overrating him than underrating him. Like I still see people saying that he's on the same level as Jaden Daniels, which I think is just crazy that we're doing that. But there are also some people who act like he's a bum. Caleb Williams is the most difficult one to grade. On one hand, I don't think he plays as bad as people say, but on the other hand, yeah. Accurately rated is tough because like it's tough to put such a polarizing player in accurately rated. You know? Like I think I'm gonna go overrated just by a little bit. I just think, yeah, I'm gonna go a little overrated. It's tough. It's tough to rank. There's no accuracy literally like on the field as well. I'm gonna go slightly overrated. Yeah, when are you live again, bro? I gotta check that out. I'm gonna go a little overrated with Caleb Williams, simply because I still think there are some people who give him too much of a pass for last year. But again, it depends who you talk to. So I think Caleb could be either one. Someone who is overrated though is Tua. He's overrated. The contract signifies that he's overrated. Remember when him and Herbert were actually a conversation for a little bit? Jesus. I don't get the hype behind Tua. I think the hype has died down, but there's still some Tua truthers out there, and that's facts. Like the stream. I think so, Malik. I think he's overrated. I've never seen the true franchise quarterback ability. He has a weak arm. He hasn't really shown an ability to play off script. He, I think, is much more reliant on his system around him. He doesn't extend plays. He doesn't have a big arm. There's nothing special about Tua. He sucks in the cold. He doesn't play well against winning teams. Like there's just not. There's a lot of things, and he's the injury risk as well. There's just a lot of things that would steer me away from having Tua as my quarterback. And you still see some people putting him into tiers that I don't think he belongs in. So I'm going to put Tua at overrated. I think Anthony Richardson, my God, where do we put him? I still, you know what, for the sole fact that there's people out there who still think he can be a really good NFL quarterback, I'm going to put him overrated as well, bro. This dude sucks. This dude sucks. All of these kind of depend on who you're listening to. That's why it's kind of this is an interesting like topic. It depends who you ask. Because the truthers have always been overrating him. He's been overrated since the draft. I don't see a world where he can be underrated. I'll tap in if I don't forget. Hopefully I don't forget. If I don't forget, I'll tap in. But yeah, Richardson, I don't see it, man. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I get that he has the raw ability. Like, I get it. But the accuracy, the poise, the experience, he's barely played, both in college and the NFL. He completed such a low percentage of passes in college. I don't know why people thought that was going to translate to the league. And there's still people who have too much hope for him, in my opinion, so I'm going to go overrated. Darnold, he was getting overrated a bit last season. I feel like that's died down, and I think he's just accurately rated. I think he's just accurately rated as mid. I think he's just accurately rated as kind of Like going into the playoffs last year, yeah, a bit overrated. People are putting him in MVP conversations. But I think he's now just accurately rated. You don't really hear anybody hyping up Sam Darnold. He's just mid. Like I feel like everybody knows he's mid. Even Seahawks fans are like, like that's Sam Darnold. He's just He put up really good numbers in the regular season, but just collapsed under the pressure, under the bright lights. And yeah, I definitely think that he cost himself so much money with those 2 games, bro. Like that was crazy. But I'm gonna go accurately rated with him. Joe Burrow, accurately rated. Yeah, I think accurately rated, as Malik said, and I'm gonna put Josh Allen there as well. They're both accurately viewed as top 5 quarterbacks, and I don't think anybody's really arguing that they're not. I still see some people, like if I had to put Burrow in either of these two, I would still put underrated just because I still see people putting people like Herbert over him, saying that he's not top 5. I don't know how you can have that opinion after this year, but I have still seen it. But I think in general, these two are highly regarded top 5 quarterbacks. 90% of NFL fans will agree that they are top 5 quarterbacks, potentially both top 3 quarterbacks, depending on who you ask. I think the general consensus top 4 is Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Joe Burrow. So therefore, I think these two are accurately rated. I don't think there's too much to talk about there. Kyler, at this point, I think Kyler's accurately rated. Like, I see the argument for overrated, but is anybody really talking about him like he's an elite quarterback anymore? Like, I think people just kind of know what he is. He's a really, really talented quarterback who shows flashes of being an MVP candidate, who just hasn't been able to put it together for a full season in his career, except for maybe his second year. That's who he is, and I think I don't ever see Kyler Murray being put in top 10s. I think Kyler ultimately is like the 13th best quarterback in the league, which I think is around where the general consensus has him. I do get that, Anakin. I think the consensus is that he's just a good quarterback who can't put it together when it matters, and I don't think anybody really views him as a franchise quarterback. So I'm going to put Kyler in accurately rated. I can see the argument for overrated. definitely don't see underrated, especially after this past year. Um, Gino, damn, I've been saying overrated for a while. I'm gonna put him next to Kyler. I think he's similarly to Kyler, accurately rated. Yeah, some people. I know, right? Shit. Um, Kyler is a Timu version of Tua. I think Kyler's better than Tua. Don't you think? Is that what team is that what you mean by that? Because when I say Timu, I think I view them as like a worse version of that said player. I think Kyler's better than Tua personally, but Gino. Some people overrated him after that 1 year. So I've always been overrated. But I do think some people kind of underrate him a bit. I think he's a good quarterback, and people act like he's kind of like a bum. But I think it kind of evens out. I do agree, Malik. Like we're in lockstep with that. You could argue all three of them. Um, so I think him and Kyler are viewed similarly, kind of like fringe at best, fringe top 10. Um, I get, yeah, Kyler hasn't won, so I see that. But I just think in a vacuum, Kyler's a better quarterback. I think you can do more with him, and I don't see what Tua does better than Kyler, aside from maybe accuracy. They've both been in the playoffs once, and they've both stunk it up. So it's not like either of them really have that over the other guy. I think Kyler just has more natural raw tools that I can work with. I think if you drop Kyler in an offense, he can make it work. Like he can, as Easy says, he can turn chicken shit into chicken soup. He can do that a bit more than Tua. Tua is just, I don't like Tua. But anyways, back to Gino. Like Malik said, you can argue all three. I think in general, he's accurately rated as similarly to Kyler. That's facts. It really is, man. It's really subjective. What do we do with Trevor Lawrence? I have been on the overrated train for the longest time with Trevor, but it doesn't feel like people are really talking about him like that anymore. So, you know what? Fuck it. I might still put him overrated. That is a fact, Malik. You know what? Screw it. Yeah. I still think he's a bit overrated. To Malik's point, they do hang on to the number one pick. And Jeff picked him to be an MVP finalist last year, which I actually should have mentioned as Jeff's worst take when you asked that question yesterday, Malik. That alone makes him overrated. I do think that, to Anakin's point, the Jags have done him no favors. Um, but he just has not lived up. And like, if you look at Trevor in a vacuum, like if you actually look at his career high in wins is 9. I get wins on a quarterback stat. He what was I gonna say? His career high in touchdown passes is like 25. Like he's got like, didn't he have like doesn't he have like the most turnovers in the league since he entered it with like 60 some? Like he's really not been very good, and I like the tools that he gives you. Now they're mid tier. You can make a mid tier of like 20 of these dudes. Liam Cohen will be better than him than Doug Peterson, but I still think he's simply overrated just because of, like, I still have seen some people putting him in top 12, like even top 10. I've seen Lawrence be put in the top 10 as recently as like 3 months ago, which I can't get behind at all. So I think Trevor Lawrence is overrated. He's been, to Coach's point, very inconsistent. And yeah, I think he's been overrated. Jaden Daniels, I think he's accurately rated. I think he's accurately rated as well. I don't know if you can say overrated, because I don't think people are really elevating him too high, but I don't think he's underrated either. Like, he has gotten his fair share of praise. So I think he's just accurately rated as really, really good, a franchise quarterback, potential MVP candidate, but not quite in the same tier as guys like Burrow, Allen, and Lamar until he proves it again. That's what I've seen. So I'm going to say accurately rated. That's facts. Man, I was big on Jaden going into the draft. I did a quarterback rankings video in my first ever pod. I had him above Caleb Williams before the season started. Oh, like such a genius. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. But yeah, I think he's accurately rated as like between the fifth and eighth best quarterback in the league. I think you can slot him in anywhere there. Booner did call it. Me and Booner were on the front lines with the Jaden Daniels hype. Glad to have been proven right. Oh boy, I didn't even realize Jared Goff was next. Oh, you know ball. You know ball. Jared Goff. I think he's here. I don't think he's either or, to be honest. Maybe this very subjective as well, and heavily depends on who you're listening to. I think he's in general. I think Jared Goff is accurately rated as a good quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, some people do underrate him, some people overrate him as well. Depends on the lens you're looking through. Like, yeah, like if it's based on a certain group of Lions fans, then yes, overrated. But I think the general NFL audience underappreciates him a bit. So I do think that if you were to look at average quarterback rankings, Goff would be fringe top 10, maybe in the top 10, but not really in that elite tier. And that is a fact. That is a fact, which I think is right around where he should be. So I think that how do you mean underrated? Oh, I get okay, yeah. Goff is a good QB, nothing more. Exactly. I think that's what most of the world views him as. I don't think he's overrated in general. For ball knowers, he's perfect. Yeah. Do you mean like that guy, like elite that guy, or do you disagree with my stance on him? Easy underrates him. Maybe a little bit. But I think the general public. I'm not gonna be obnoxious and say he's overrated. I don't think he's. After this season, is he underrated? Like he was been getting put in MVP convos. Easy hates him. It's funny watching Easy go off on the golf gobblers. Facts. Yeah, that I think. Yeah, for the QB he's underrated. For ball nerds, he's perfectly rated. That's the perfect way to put it, to be honest. Easy pick Jordan Love over Goff. Crazier things have been said. I think crazier things have been said. Like I think putting Trevor Lawrence over Goff at this point, like I see that all the time, and it doesn't make sense. I think crazier things have been said. I think Goff's accurately rated in general. Booner's a Goff gobbler. I actually think he. He's been kind of real this offseason, though. Goff easy sits on the fence and waits for him to slip up. He did trash him for the playoff loss. That is true. We'll put Goff in accurately rated. I think that'll please everybody. And I'm not just putting him there to please you guys. I promise. This is what I genuinely believe. JJ McCarthy. I kept him on this tier list. I feel like it's tough to tell because he hasn't played yet. Like, I don't know if we should put JJ on this list yet. You know, like I think it's Booner has been low key a slappy. Well, Booner's naturally a slappy. How he tried to call out that was crazy. Yeah, I don't know what to do with JJ. I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, I might keep him off the list. Yeah, we'll keep him off the list. Lamar accurately rated. Lamar similarly to Allen and Burrow. From next one, just for yeah. I think Lamar is accurately rated. You think overrated? I think Lamar is accurately rated. Like most people have him. Like Ravens fans overrate him. Some people still underrate him, but like similarly to Allen and Burrow, like the majority of people aren't in agreement that they are top 5 quarterbacks, and Lamar is no different. Got to put JJ on the list. We putting JJ in overrated then, Coach Walk? JJ's a TBD. Like, JJ's a TBD. Lamar's only overrated in the playoffs. They did play fine. Yeah, those 2 turnovers, though, were kind of nasty. You think JJ's overrated? I don't mind that. Dak Prescott is overrated. Yeah. Dak is overrated. 100%. Dak is overrated. Facts. I'm always up for Rain Dakota Prescott slander. Yeah, overrated. Gets elevated into. I still saw a quarterback list this week, but Dak Prescott at 8. 8 above Jalen Hurts. We're still putting Dak Prescott above Jalen Hurts in the big 2025. Minnesota fans think he's the second coming. Rain Dakota Prescott. He rains on Cowboys fans' hopes every year. It was written in the stars. Yeah, Dak, he's fine. That's what he is. He's fine. I think that he sometimes gets slandered too much, but in general, he is overrated. He is overrated. Michael Penix, you know what? I think Michael Penix is underrated. CeeDee Lamb's the only thing not overrated about the Cowboys, and Overshown, the linebacker. Yeah, he's good. I think Penix is low-key underrated. Dak does suck. That's a fact. I think Penix is low-key underrated. I think people need to start talking about Michael Penix, the Penix. People need to talk about him a bit more. It is tough to do it because he's, only played, how many games? Overshown is nice. I like Overshown a lot. Shame he got hurt. But yeah, I think Penix does get slept on a bit. I think he's good. I think when you talk about sophomore quarterbacks, no one really brings up Penix. And it's tough to say he's overrated because I don't really see anybody hyping up Penix. See, that's my problem. Who's hyping up Michael Penix? I guess I kind of am, but, in general, I think he's underrated. I think people sleep on Penix a bit. I think he's going to be good. I thought, QB4 in the draft. The only problem is that he's old. He's a little older and he's injury prone. He is unrated. Yeah, that's low-key kind of true. Underrated. That's true. Didn't see enough of him. Fair. Russell Wilson. Fuck it, overrated. And Aaron Rodgers. Can we agree? Are both Russell and Aaron overrated? Is that what we're doing here? Because I feel like they're low-key name merchants. Last name merchants out here. That's how I feel about Russell Wilson and A-Rod. A-Rod's, I don't care what the stats tell you. Aaron Rodgers is cooked. When's he going to pick a freaking team? Yeah, Rodgers is overrated, yeah. Washed, overrated, bums, frauds, has-beens. Man, Rodgers went out so sad. You really hate to see it. They were good in 2015, yeah, facts. Kirby ended him. Yeah, that Achilles ended him. That's a good point. Rodgers is, in fact, cooked. That Achilles, that cooked him. Big cock Brock. Fuck. Brock Purdy's such a weird one, bro. Ugh, the Brock Purdy discourse. If you're talking to Niner fans, he is overrated. Oh, God, he's not underrated. You know what? For the simple fact that he's about to get paid $50+ million, overrated. Got put into the MVP talk. Was slightly fair at the time because it wasn't really a leading candidate, but I have seen a Niners reporter who's kind of well respected say that after the Niners-Packers game, the divisional round, and I've told Alex this before. This dude, David Lombardi, I'm calling him out by name, said that Brock Purdy is a combination of Drew Brees and Lamar Jackson. And it's like, dude, if he's Drew Brees, if he has the accuracy of Brees and the brain of Brees and the athletic ability of Lamar, then what the hell was he doing getting picked in the 7th round? You heard a similar thing. Oh my God. I swear to God. I actually was going to say this. It's similar to Goff. I kid you not, I heard this. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, it is true. Drew Brees with Lamar Jackson's 10-yard burst. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I think I might have heard that exact same thing. It was on Nick Wright called him out on First Things First. It was so funny. I heard that and shut my laptop. Nobody's Lamar, bruh. Like that's just for that comment alone, he is overrated. So overrated. But some people do underrate him as well. Like I'll be fair. Some people do underrate him. Some people do think he's a scrub, and I don't think he's a scrub. But for that contract, yeah, it was something I heard a little over a year ago. I don't know when the comment. It was after. I think it was after the Green Bay game, or something. No, he made 2 comments. The one after the Green Bay one was him comparing him to Joe Montana. That was the one after the Green Bay game. I don't know when the Breeze and Lamar one was. Allen, I would argue Daniels in terms of pure speed. But yeah, Lamar's Michael Vick 2.0. I think he's a better passer than Vick personally, but I see the comp. But yeah, Allen. But I think Allen is better than Lamar. Anakin's saying in terms of like speed, like rushing ability. Yeah, I could see that. Either Allen or Daniels. Or Jalen Milrow, huh? Okay, let's move on from Brock Purdy. Bo Nix, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I think he's a bit overrated. I think that the offensive rookie of the year talks got a way too overblown. And I don't even think Bo Nix is that much better. Is he better than Drake May? Like in a vacuum, is he? Like, like I don't know. Like that offense, like putting him in the same conversations as Jaden Daniels was just always it was silly, man. Like I get it, he was playing good, but come on, like I think he's overrated, just a little, just a tad. He ain't underrated. Um, and I don't think people have really found a common ground on him yet. So I don't know if he's accurately rated. I think he is overrated for the simple fact by a mile. By a mile. Do you disagree with that, Malik? I'm sorry. I'm not that big a Knicks guy. I thought he was. I definitely thought he was going to be a bust, and I was definitely wrong about that. But the late season surge. No, you don't disagree. Okay. I thought that was what that meant. So we all are in agreement that Bo Nix is a bit overrated. I don't know if he's better than Drake May. Like, if you want to say he's better because he's played a full year, made the playoffs, I get it, but facts. That's a fact. I think Nix is overrated. Yeah, I never said he sucks. Like, yeah, I don't think he sucks. Like, I thought he was gonna suck coming into the league. May is better. I think May is better. I think Caleb's close. Like, I think you put them all in the same situation as Bo, they would produce similar numbers. Oh Lord, Mahomes. You know what? Just for the Brady comp, are we putting Mahomes in overrated? That's a fact. Especially against the Rams. That shit pissed me the fuck off. We got a lot of overrated. uh, let's put Mahomes in overrated for the culture, shall we? Just because the Brady comp. In all honesty, he should be probably here. He's the number one quarterback in the league, and everyone views him as the um number one quarterback in the league. So realistically, should be here. But I just feel like for the culture, yeah, screw him. He's the Muppet. Kermit the Frog because of the media attention. Only in the convo is overrated. Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of low key being a troll, but he's either here or here. Where I mean, I'm cool with either. He's probably, if I'm being objective, he's accurately rated as number one. Screw his Kermit looking Kermit sounding if you guys want to put him in overrated, I'm down. But objectively, he's accurately rated as the number one QB in the league. We always do a little trolling around here. That's facts. That is truer words I've never been spoken, Anakin. The Brady comps before the Super Bowl. If he wins this game, he's better than Brady. That was too much. So he's definitely closer to overrated than underrated. But he's probably accurately rated. Now Justin Herbert. Oh God. He's got to be one of the most polarizing quarterbacks in terms of discourse I've heard. I'm gonna go a smidge overrated though. After that playoff game, I don't know. That is facts. See, this is tough with Herbert because a lot of people underrate him. We don't have enough quarterbacks in underrated, but I think, yeah, overrated. We got some overrated and underrated. I agree with this. Like talent, yeah, he's still top 8. He had no receivers. Yeah, 100%. Like I agree. Like I think going into this season, he was underrated. But after the playoffs, I still see people putting him over Burrow. You know? Yeah, I like Herbert. I think he's kind of like the Stafford of this era, in a way. I don't know if he's got the clutch gene of Stafford, but I think he is similar in terms of like not winning a ton, being a big talent. Yeah, he's not Burrow yet. Yeah, I can't get behind that. But these are also tough because it really depends where, like, who you're listening to. It's tough to say accurately rated when there's such a polarizing player. You know? I'm seeing some underrated names about to pop up here. The imbalance of this list is crazy. I'm gonna say a bit overrated. I'm sorry. So overrated then. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say overrated. I get that he doesn't have much help. I got it, but you can't be throwing 4 picks in the playoffs and still be, Derek Carr. Yeah, I think, accurately rated is kind of mid. I think bad almost. Are we fine with Herbert and overrated? Derek Carr could easily be overrated as well. Like, I'm not gonna kill you, but who's rating Derek Carr now? You know, you saying Herbert's underrated? How do you mean? Herbert overrated? I think he's a bit overrated as well. I like Herbert a lot. Yeah, no one's really hyping up Derek Carr. Um, oh boy, Jordan Love. Oh boy. See, hear me out. I get the easy placement is overrated, and I totally get it. But am I the only one? You think Herbert's an underrated quarterback? I don't hate that, to be honest. You could argue Herbert's kind of similar to some other names on this list. It depends who you ask, really. Okay. You guys are going to think overrated? Am I the only one that thinks that this offseason he's being slightly underrated simply because it feels like nobody's really talking about him anymore? Like, if you want to, like, going into, like, throughout the season, you could say, and I still think there's an argument for him to be overrated. But do you guys see people hyping up Jordan Love? Because I kind of haven't. Like, it feels like he's getting slept on. But it depends who you ask. Like, I personally think he's becoming a little underrated. Like, people act like he was just a bum last year and that he was ass. Like, he was all right, sucked in the playoffs, just like Herbert. And I think if we're going to put Herbert in overrated, there's definitely an argument for Love for similar reasons. Love has MVP potential, but he needs to find his identity. Yeah, it's all about consistency with Love. Because he was terrible last year. That's why nobody's talking about him. Do you not think it's similar to like the CJ Stroud effect? Like you know what? I think Stroud. I'm putting Stroud in underrated because I think that because of one bad year, people are now sleeping on him. I think it's a similar story with Love. But if you guys want to put him in overrated, I don't hate it. I don't think Love was terrible. And he was hurt a bit for the like I think it's crazy how he was 5th in QBR last year, Jordan Love. That doesn't make much sense to me. But he wasn't so like, people act like Jordan Love was the only reason why the Packers fell apart. Like he was a big part of it, but there were also a lot of injuries to the receivers as well. So but I think Stroud's underrated. Simply because he struggled last year. A lot of people have kind of dismissed him and moved on to Jaden Daniels, and I still think CJ Stroud's a very good quarterback. And I think the story's similar with Love. Personally. Like, I personally think Jordan Love right now is getting underrated. The receiver's definitely facts. Yeah. That is truth. We need multiple Jordan Love pictures, one up here and one down there. But I like Jordan Love's talent. He just needs to put it together. I feel like he's almost what Kyler was like a year ago. Like, if people wanted to say Kyler was underrated before last year, I wouldn't have had much of a problem with it. We're going to see this year if Jordan Love is really that guy or if he's just another Kyler, like super talented but can't quite put it together. Stroud is underrated. We'll keep Love and overrated for now. But then again, like if they're overrated, like is there anybody right now really rating him? Similarly, Stroud. I'll tell you else is underrated. Baker Mayfield's underrated. I think he's the most underrated QB in the league. I think he's a borderline top 10 guy. That's if the Texans keep trying to make him into a hero ball quarterback, he'll keep being underrated. Yeah, their offensive line sucks. Baker's underrated to me because I feel like his ending in Cleveland has clouded people's viewpoint of him. And I think if you look at objectively as his career, he's arguably a top 10 QB. All right, the guy threw 40 tutties last year. Yeah, I've come around on to Baker. Yeah, man. Baker's really good. I'm just saying just for Jordan Love as a joke. I pay attention to people. And I don't see too many people rating. Like Jordan Love is kind of in that CJ Stroud tier. No, Baker is a baller. He is good. He is very good. I think that he's underrated. He's gotten better as a scrambler as well. He Played really well with Godwin and Evans out as well. Like, yeah, Baker's underrated to me. Justin Fields. Why did I keep Spencer Rattler on the list? You know what? Fuck Spencer Rattler. I'm gonna put him in this garbage thing, that garbage tier. There were like 50 quarterbacks on this tier list. I just put all these dudes in this blank tier. Forgot about Spencer Rattler for some reason. Justin Fields. Where we put Justin Fields? Yeah, and I don't see Love mentioned in many top tens. So, and I don't necessarily think he's top 10. I think he's fringe top 10. But I do think Love is getting underrated. Last year, yeah, last year, yeah, I could see the argument because I Fields probably overrated. Yeah, Fields is overrated. Drake May underrated. No. Yeah, you don't really hear about it anymore, so that's why I think he's underrated. But yeah, Drake May's underrated. Arguably the second best quarterback in this class. I think he's going to prove to be the second best quarterback in this class. And I think you got people just putting Bo Nix and Caleb Williams over him without really thinking about it too much. I think Drake May's got some juice. Facts. Yeah, and I'd love Fields going into the draft, but it's, Drake is very underrated. We got 10 viewers in here. Let's go. Kirk Cousins probably still overrated, right? May is underrated. Cousins will flip him and overrated, similarly to like Wilson and Rodgers, right? I think the argument's similar for my mom is a big field slappy. I used to be a field slappy, man. Yeah, Cousins overrated, probably just because same reasons as Wilson and Rodgers. I think Stafford, I think accurately rated. Stafford. Kirk's gonna Kirk. Yeah, that's facts. I think Stafford used to be here. I think he's here now. I think everybody views him as a really good quarterback. No one's really putting him in the Burrow Allen conversation. So I don't know if people are overrating him. And I think some people still do underrate him a lot. But I think Stafford at this point in his career, he's accurately rated. People know what he is. Yeah, I agree, Malik. Underrated for Stafford. I think he's closer to underrated than overrated. For sure. Him and Baker are your top two underrated quarterbacks. Well, him and May. I don't hate that. I agree, Coach. Either accurately rated or underrated. I think a few years ago, underrated for sure. Now I think he's accurately rated. People know what Matt Stafford is at this point. Oh, come on now, Anakin. Jalen. Oh, God. Oh, Jalen Hurts. This is such a terrible one to talk about. I don't hate that take, Spoon. I hate Jalen Hurts conversations, man. It's so like people are on such opposite sides of the spectrum. It is crazy, and the Super Bowl win just intensified that more. Facts. There are still people who don't think Jalen Hurts is top 10. I've seen it. And I think that's, I think you kind of, the resume that he has, I think, even if you have him at 10, I feel like you kind of have to have him in your top 10 at this point. But there are Eagles fans. Eagles fans overrate the hell out of this dude. And I love Jalen Hurts, but that's just the truth. That's why I'm saying Eagles fans overrate this dude so much. I've seen Eagles fans think he's the second best quarterback in the league. Some of them. He's not going to beat you with his arm. He did in the Super Bowl, to be fair. But consistently, I trust the other guys more. I feel like I have to say overrated just because of the people putting him in the top 5. Yeah, that is true. We'll put him in underrated because of that. But yeah, Eagles fans think he's top 2. Like I've seen shit like it's Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then everybody else. It's like, oh man. Like if we're doing rings as the only metric, then Mahomes, Hurts, and Stafford are the top 3 QBs in the league. Like, and when Stafford won the Super Bowl, I wasn't here parading for Stafford to be top 2 because I knew what my eyes told me. Surely at some point there has to be an eye test with people. I'm gonna go overrated. Just because the Eagles fans, screw them. Do we want to do the rookies? I kept Joe Milton in the list in case Tyler showed up. But do you want to do the rookies or are we happy with this list? How do you know that, Anakin? Yeah. Yeah, facts. Yeah, I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying based on like Eagles fans' logic of winning Super Bowls, they should have Mahomes, Hurts, and Stafford as the top 3 because they've won Super Bowls recently. I'm going off of Eagles fans' logic here. I don't think rings are the be all end all. Like I've never had Stafford top 3. Even after he won the Super Bowl, I still had Mahomes, Allen, Brady, Rodgers, and even Burrow above him. I had Stafford at like 5 or 6. No way. Really? That kind of that was kind of glazing, Anakin, and a cop, a closeted Eagles fan, and a cop. Are we doing the rookies or not? Eagles fans boost. Eagles fans suck, dude. I really hope we play them week 1. I want to beat them. I want to knock them out of the playoffs so bad, bro. They need to get shut up. Hurts is a good guy, but yeah, so does Jared Goff. I don't hear you saying that about Jared Goff. Or are you a Jared Goff hater, Anakin? Are you a Jared Goff hater? Shameful. Shameful. We're grading their football ability, damn it. If I'm doing rookies, Cam Ward is underrated. Shadur still overrated, just because whatever. Dart, Dart's kind of accurately rated, and then Joe Milton is obviously underrated for Tyler. What do we think of this list? We happy with it? How dare Anakin hate our beloved? I know, right? Glazing hurts. I know. Jared Goff hater. How do we feel about the list? I think we did a good job at. We found some common ground. Disagreed a bit on Jordan Love, but it's all good. Goff made out with Anakin's girlfriend. Oh wow, we got a new viewer here, a non-Woodward viewer or non-Crunch Time viewer. Reflect the sun. Gino is underrated. Mm. Mm. I think there's an argument from overrated, underrated, and accurately rated. We got a first-time viewer in here, huh? Look at that. Welcome to the show. Reflect the sun. You could argue Gino's underrated. Make sure you like the stream and subscribe to the channel. That is true. His offensive line does suck, but I think he's accurately rated as like the 13th best QB in the league, like between 12 and like 15. Oh my god. Oh no. We've pissed off Anakin. Shout out Reflect the Sun. What is up? Appreciate you for tuning in. We already went over it. We said with Gino that it depends on who you're talking to and that he's hard to rank. You could argue him overrated, accurately rated, or underrated. Top 7. I know. See, for that reason, I might have to put him overrated. For top 7. Yeah, I missed it. All good, brother. All good, brother. I think Gino gonna have a down year. Probably, he'll be all right. Like he'll do the same things he did this year. But yeah, that is the list. Yeah, he's not top 7 for that. For that reason, I'm gonna have to put Gino on overrated. Reflect. You disappointed me. See, that's the problem. Like, it depends who you're talking to. This is why this is such a subjective list. Oh my god. Gino's down you. We're better than facts. Yeah. This chat's gone off. This chat's going off. If I were to rank quarterbacks, I'd have Gino like 13, 14. In my opinion. But it's also called trolling Torque. Oh no. Yeah, we need to on that note, we'll end the show there. Do we have any mailbag questions? If not, we'll get out of here. That was a fun show, and it was a fun week in general. He did have a shit offensive line in Seattle. Like that's fair. Like I do see the argument for Gino being underrated, but there's some people like the NFL nerd community still overrates him. Like I still see Gino in top 10s, and I don't think that's the case. Mailbag, do you know where your name Etienne came from? That's such a cool name. Appreciate that. I don't know. I think it's like this is a random fun fact. My dad's name is Steven, and I think Etienne is Steven in French. What is Steven in French? I think that's what my parents told me that one time, or the other way around. Yeah, in French, Steven can be translated as Stefan or Etienne. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why they were gonna name me Xander. It was either Xander or Etienne. Etienne is low-key a baller. I appreciate that, Malik. I've always been insecure about my name because everybody used to mispronounce it. I got some funny stories. I'll get to your mailbag. So you're French. My entire family's Scottish, not French. I don't really have much French connections, but yeah, that's a kick-ass name. Oh hell yeah. Yeah, sweet. I was thinking of how cool I do like the originality of the name is cool. Like I do enjoy not having a name like Jack or like some random like name that every other kid has, Jalen. Like it is cool to have a unique name, but I've got like a funny story. I'll get to your mailbag Motor City in a minute and Anakin. But I used to play soccer growing up, and before every soccer game, we would like go to like the referee and they'd have our names like read off before the game to make sure that we weren't plugging out any random players, to make sure that every name registered on the roster was one playing. And every damn referee used to mispronounce my name. It was so annoying. And that's where my dislike for my last name stemmed from. And one specifically, I vividly remember this woman, this Karen, sat there and said, Etienne or Etienne. Like she literally said Etienne, like Etienne. It was either Etienne or Etienne. No, it was Etienne. This chick said, "Call my name Etienne," in front of the whole fucking team. And the shitty part about it was like they said the names in alphabetical order. My camera's out of focus, but come on, man. But whatever. The worst part about it was they'd say it in alphabetical order. So whenever someone would butcher my name, the whole team heard it. And Etienne became my nickname for like 2 months. It was fucking horrible. Like I used to get more nervous for that part than the actual games. Because I've got pretty bad, like, I used to have a really bad stutter problem and like anxiety problem. I still do, but it's gotten better. And I would always be nervous of having to correct them about my name. And I'd always be worried about stuttering. It was terrible. It was terrible. I used to get so nervous for that. Hang on. Once that part was over, I was ready to go. When we get a 2-hour show, uh, I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a 2-hour special. I mean, if you guys would stay for 2 hours, sure, but 2 hours is a long time to go by just me. Um, you know, but I'll do some like streams. You'd stay. Appreciate you, playa. I'll do some live streams for Rams games this year. Like, I want to do that, or like sporting events in general. But I'll do some live streams for Rams games. Let's get through the mailbag. Can we do some wide receivers? Yeah, sure. I'll put that on my schedule for one of the days. Who is Wheezy D's true identity? Davenhurt, Pascal. It's got to be Davenhurt. He's always gassing up Davenhurt. 10 sacks? He said Davenhurt would get 10 sacks this year. It's got to be Davenhurt. He's Marcus Davenport's burner. And he hates on Jared Verse as well. My actual name is Nicholas. That's so odd. You will always be Anakin to me. And I didn't say the name Nicholas was odd, so don't take that out of context. But you will always be Anakin to me. It's odd now calling you Nicholas. You'll always be Anakin to me and to everybody else. It's gotta be Davenhurt. My name gets mispronounced decent. What do they call you? Malek? Verse was beast. Rams outdrafted Seahawks. Yeah, Verse. Your ball knowledge is recovering after the Geno top 7 take, my brother. But yeah, Verse is good. Are you a Seahawks fan? Reflect the sun. They call me Malik. Wait, how do you say your name? I think I've been calling you Malik. Is it Malek? Is it Malek or Malik? I feel like I've been mispronouncing your name now. We got 10 viewers in here. Let's go. Are you a Seahawks fan, brother? If so, welcome in. I look forward to the NFC West. I was now a Raiders fan. Oh, cool. Pete, Marshawn, Gino, and friends. Malik. Okay. All right, Malik. Okay, cool. Nice. Over, under, Nicholas gets his first kiss at prom. What, over, under? Like, are we doing like odds? Like, Malek. Oh, I'm confused now. You've just said Ek. Is it Malik or Malek? Oh, God. This is the problem. Over, under, like on minutes. Are we doing like odds? Like plus 300, he gets the kiss? Something like that. Apparently, Anakin, he will or won't. We'll go plus. I'll go plus 200. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Problem is, Anakin, you make yourself an easy target, brother. You make yourself an easy target. You know how Sheep says, bah. Okay. Malik. Yeah. Malik. Okay. Malik. Got it. That sheep analogy cracked me up, bro. That was funny. Apparently Anakin's getting laid in a prom. So Lil Nicky. Lil Nicky. Oh my God. Lil Nicky. She knees him in the nuts and calls him a nerd. Oh God. I think has Anakin dipped? He hasn't defended himself in like a minute. I think Anakin's dipped. Oh, this is a funny show. What a way to end the week. Just don't get drunk. Yeah. He's told me like 10 times that he's gone to buy his condoms. So shout out to him. I should not have said my real name. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? At least you didn't have your name get pronounced Etini. Etini. We got any more questions? If not, we'll get out of here. This has been fun. Shout out to you guys for staying up late to watch me as always. I appreciate it. He thinks he's going to get his whistle blown. If Anakin can get laid, then there's hope for people like me. Thoughts on proms? Never went, so I don't know. Never went, so I don't know. I love you, baller. Have a good night. Love you too, Alex. Have a good night. You're my G. Remember that. How do you unblock someone? you want to unblock Anakin so you control him more? You go to like settings on YouTube. I think like on your laptop maybe. Settings. I'm trying to help you out here. Settings, view advanced. Oh, I don't know. Go to your Google account settings and find the user you want to unblock. Tap the unblock button next to their name. Okay. I definitely clapped cheeks on prom night. Good for you, brother. I've been to one. It was fine but bittersweet. Didn't clap cheeks the night but one. Get in there. Yeah. we all love you, Anakin. It's just a bit of fun. Don't take it too serious. Yeah, these chats are fun. That smirk face was such perfectly timed. Yeah. What Anakin said. I would do this with my phone or iPad. Yeah, on Google it said go to your Google account settings and find the user. It should say it there. Really? Baller. Yeah. We got 10 people in here at stupid o'clock at night. I rocked your world for 20 seconds. See, these stories are great. What's IHOP again? I know the. Is that like a. Oh, okay, yeah, the rush. Okay, yeah. Facts. Who you talking to, brother? You talking to Anakin? Who you talking to? Hmm? International House of Pancakes. Yeah, okay. You were living up. Oh, coach? Oh, okay. Cool. I thought you were talking about me. Like I said, do we have any more questions? If not, we will said he only lasted 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds longer than me, buddy. Yeah, we can just chat a few more minutes. If not, if pancakes or waffles, ooh, waffles. Might be an unpopular opinion. I love waffles. Pancake, I like a good pancake as well, but I do love me some waffles. Look at the contrast, the sudden contrast. Like I lasted longer than you my first time. It's like love you, coach. You know, went from flaming him to complimenting him within. Oh, little Nicky getting tired. You can go to sleep, Anakin. It's fine. I was planning on ending this like 10 minutes ago, but this chat's just gone so far to the left. I love you guys. I didn't realize that was so funny. The like instantly like flamed him and then complimented him within like the same sentence. That was funny. That was very funny. Oh, that was a fun show. That's been one of my most fun shows. Anakin's having a rough time, bro. Night, Anakin, sleep tight, bud. Don't have a wet dream. Don't, hey Anakin, don't let the bed bugs bite, brother. Yeah, facts. Hey, hey yo, hey yo. Yeah, I figured, pimp. Coach would never last 20 seconds. 20 minutes. Dude, the only thing this conversation was missing was Terrell and his profile picture. Anakin, it's all love. Yeah, Anakin, don't worry, brother. We got dogs in this chat. Yeah, we're building a community here. I appreciate you guys. You guys are goated. I'm giving you guys wrenches. But yeah, the only thing this conversation was missing was Terrell. Terrell would have just absolutely sent this conversation into outer space. Dogs. Oh, 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 oh. This is funny. Yeah, this has been great. This has been really fun. Okay. Facts. That's what I'm saying, dude. He would have, yeah, Terrell would have sent that shit to outer space. Oh. This chat is way more fun. Yeah, because it's like, you know, if you're staying up till 11, you're a diehard. So we got true diehards in here. We got nothing but dogs. Nobody to mess up the mood. No bears slappies. No a tour. Shout out. He would have gone. Yeah, facts. He would have. Yeah, it would have gone freaky. What the hell? 13 viewers? What the hell? It says 13 viewers. This is a high. Oh, down to 12. Oh no. But man, this stream's been lit, man. An hour and 12 minutes. We've now reached our high in viewers. You getting the chat rated? Vamos. Best player on the Lions, Penei Sewell. I've actually, for an episode, probably next week, I'm going to do top 5 players on every NFL team. I'm going to do in 2 parts, AFC and NFC edition. Top 5 players on each team. Me and a bunch of 18 and 27 years old. Hey, that's why, you're bringing the versatility, You're bringing the versatility. You're the best, coach. You're the man. I'm 29, coach. Don't worry. Hell yeah, that'll be fun. Keep it growing. We're keeping this growing for sure. My Shadur Sanders short got 1,200 views. And it got more dislikes than likes. Coach brings a fatherly wisdom. That is so true, Malik. And in between them, 36. That's a good. You're in your prime. You're in your comedic prime. That's dope, bro. We gotta get them views. Yeah, I knew talking about Shadur would get me views. I wish I did it right after he got picked. That'd have been fun. We got a wide range of age. Yeah, Anakin's the youngest. Of course, brother. I am the second youngest. I think Malik's probably the third youngest. And then, yeah, kind of everybody else. But, we'll, if you believe in it, yeah, he could be a 71-year-old pedophile for all we know. But we'll wrap it up here. This was a great show. You guys are the best. Every single one of you made this show elite from start to finish. You guys all know ball. I appreciate you guys tuning in every single day. Next week we got Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm trying to do 3 days a week from now on. The Anakin situation's hilarious. I think Anakin just said, "Fuck this." He's going to bed. Didn't even say goodbye to me either. What a disappointment. But anyways, you guys, the goats, keep trolling Anakin. Keep tuning into the show. Make sure you like if you haven't. And a shout out to every single one of you guys. It's been a fun week, fun show. Love you guys. Peace out.